Go ahead, please.
Go ahead. So, as I said earlier, I'll be talking on how to get a research grant. Right. So, a research grant is a sum of money provided by an organization, such as government agency, foundation, or corporation, to support specific research project. These research projects are usually used for research-related costs, such as the purchase of equipment and some bioassays. And they are usually given by government agencies, corporate bodies, and foundations. The various types of research grants are government grants, foundation grants, corporate grants, and so on. So the steps involved in getting a research grant are, now the first step is to identify funding sources. And these funding sources could be government grants, could be government agencies, could be corporate corporate foundations. It couldn't be a website. So one will identify these funding sources and ensure that it aligns with one's project work. The next is to check, or is for a researcher to check whether he or she is eligible for this grant. And so the researcher will read through the guidelines attached to these grants and check whether he or she, his or her research fits into these requirements. And then the next step is to develop a strong proposal. So in developing a strong proposal, this entails one, outlining what problem this project will solve. Also, it involves one to outline project objectives, significance, and expected outcomes. Under this proposal, one will also describe or give details on the methodology and timeline that will be involved in these projects. And one will also look at a realistic budget. One will outline the costs and funding sources under a realistic budget. Now that leads us to gathering supporting materials. These supporting materials would be letters of support, organizational information, and even the researcher's resume. Then the next is that one must work strictly with the grant submission guidelines. Application format and guidelines must be strictly followed. And then after one has written this proposal, one could submit to a colleague to help read through in order to ensure that this proposal is compelling. In order to ensure that this proposal is compelling enough. And then the next thing is to submit on time. No one seeking for grants to ensure that he or she submits before the deadline. And the last step I have here is the follow-up. The follow-up step, whereby one must keep checking the status of our application and be prepared for follow-up requests. Researcher should ensure he or she submits before the deadline. And the last step on my slide there is a follow-up. The researcher should keep checking his or her application status and be prepared for follow-up requests or actions. Thank you.
What about if you apply for a grant and you don't get it? What do you do?
And you can still check for another one. Can keep applying, keep trying.
If you apply for the other one, you didn't get it, Uncle.
Well, maybe one can look for other sources of funding.
Like what? If you apply for grant, you didn't get it, you keep applying now. You apply for 100 grants and you didn't get it, you apply again. If you didn't get it, you still apply again. If you didn't get it, you apply again. Just keep applying. The issue with grant application is that, especially competitive grants, people assume that, and I used to assume that way, that I apply one, two, I think, I will get it. Whereas there are more than 1,000 people applying for the same grant from different places, and all these people, they are very good like you. Not that you are not good. Those people too, they are good like you are good. More than some grants, more than 10,000 people will apply. So this one, 10,000, another one. So you just keep applying. You don't give up. While I was still on my PhD, I applied to one thing in a week. One, I must apply for either internship, grant, fellowship, anything. I must apply. I must. It's a must. Once a week, one per week. That's the average. And most times I apply for more than one. So eventually, when the scholarship and the grant came, I was not even expecting. It just came. It just come back. It just came like that. I got this, and it's not like as if I'm a master grant writer. No, I was just trying, applying and submitting, applying and submitting, applying and submitting. Then I don't know what happened. My proposal was selected. So the issue is just keep applying, because you cannot say the grant application that is going to yield, that is going to come out well. So thank you for presenting.